Latest blizzard, you'll see evidence of roads cleared this morning, but you'll also see what drivers have been up against since hitting the streets late last night. The Valley Today's Aaron Walling is out in the elements, giving us a look at what to expect if you have to head outside. Good morning, Aaron. What's it like out there?
Jordan, good morning to you as well. And it is bad and brutal out here, Jordan. The wind and snow combination is a major factor here on the roadways. I'm going to step away and point out the snowdrifts. Yeah, the crews have been coming in and out and clearing the major roads. But here on 38th Avenue South, you can see that the snowdrift is heavily impacting that turnoff. If you're going to try to get out of that, some low-riding vehicles, you may not be able to get out. This morning, I have a low-riding vehicle myself, Jordan. I couldn't even get out of my parking lot. I had to trade vehicles with my wife. And the snow and wind combination is rough and brutal. And just to show you on how deep some of these snow drifts are getting, these sidewalks have been cleared out earlier this morning, but this is me just standing in it, Jordan, and it's up to my shins. And these are some of these snow drifts that are also on the road system. On 48th Avenue South this morning while I was driving, I was going through snowdrift after snowdrift after snowdrift, and it became essentially just a single lane road. And as right now, Jordan, I can tell you, it is really cold, it is really windy. You do not want to get caught out in this, and visibility is getting worse and worse. You can barely see out here. And Jordan, I hope that you are safe and warm in the studio, but I can tell you right now, it is not fun being out here, especially with that combination of wind and snow.
Yeah, driving is definitely tricky out there. A plow goes by, creates that big ridge on an intersection. You got to watch out for it. Aaron Walling reporting live this morning. Thank you. And we have a couple more weather-related announcements. City buses in Grand Forks are running late. Bus service will start at 9 this morning, and all Cass County government offices will be closed until 10 this morning. Keep up to date on closures and delays on our website and the free VNL News app. Plus, we're scrolling them at the bottom of your screen right now. And this is all happening with that blizzard that's bearing down on the region right now. Tracking it this morning is Lisa Green.
Good morning. Blizzard warning remains in effect until 9 o'clock. We'll show you that in a moment here, but let's take a look around. In the FRAZEE area along Highway 10, you see a vehicle trying to make its way through, and you can see the snow on the road surface. There's some drifting going on in the region, and it's going to be tough, especially in some of those open areas outside of the major towns and cities. And taking a look at what's happening right now in Devil's Lake, we've got some crews out trying to clear the parking lot there at Home of Economy in Devil's Lake. There's still some wind blowing. You can see that snow kind of blowing right now, illuminated in the light in that area. That's a place where we do have some wind. It's not as intense, though, as some places like Fargo and Grand Forks right now. The heavier snow has moved on. We've got lofted snow getting detected on the radar, perhaps some light snow still falling as well, in addition to the snow getting blown around. And speaking of, our winds gusting to 47 miles per hour in Grand Forks, 41 in Fargo. And I just want to point out our steady winds, our sustained winds. 33 in Grand Forks, 32 in Fargo. So you could hear that wind the entire time during Aaron's live report. And that's because the wind is constant at 30 miles per hour or so. So that's just going to keep driving that snow. And occasionally we get these gusts into the 40s that just make it even worse. And we start to get that drifting going on too. So this is what we're encountering right now. Visibility that is at a quarter mile or less in some areas. Fargo and in Grand Forks, we're at a half-mile visibility, and almost every spot in the valley is under 3 miles here. A little bit better off in the northeast up by Lake of the Woods for visibility reports, but a lot of places are struggling, whether it be the combo of falling snow and wind or blowing snow just in general happening. So here's that blizzard warning. Again, the pink area in effect until 9 o'clock. You can see it kind of coincides right where we're seeing some of the strongest winds, and then surrounding areas in that winter weather advisory. When the warning expires at 9, I'm expecting an advisory to take over for that, the winter weather advisory, because the wind's still going to be blowing the snow around. It's not going to suddenly get better at 9 a.m. We're still going to have some issues, but slight improvements, we'll say here. And then beyond that, heading into tonight, wind chills will be the big factor. We're talking wind chill advisory and wind chill warnings in some areas in purple in the south and west. So Arctic cold moving in behind this system too, and our temperatures have already been dropping below 0. We're now down to 3 below in Fargo and 8 below in Grand Forks. still clinging to some positive numbers in the east, but that'll be changing for you too. And check out these wind chills, 30 below now in Fargo and 36 below in Grand Forks. So just tough to be out doing the cleanup here today when we're talking about wind chills that low. A quick look at our wind gust planner here, because this is going to be the big factor for us through the rest of the day today. Some good news as we head through the morning. This is by noon where I'm pausing the clock. Our winds gusting into the 40s will be tapering off, but we're still seeing these 30-mile-per-hour gusts plus, even into the 5 o'clock hour in some instances. Eventually, though, it does ease up more into the 20s. Still breezy, still getting some drifting, and of course this is still impacting our wind chills heading into tonight too. So it's not getting a lot easier here, but very slight improvements by tonight. In the meantime, please be careful out there and stay warm. We've got some cold days ahead of us in our 7-day planner.
A lot to watch out for, Lisa. Thank you. One of the major things you need to watch out for if you have to hit the road is that wind and blowing snow. We want to take a look at the DOT map for North Dakota. You see these pink red shaded counties here. They're going up from Pembina down to Dickey in about a southwest angle right there. That is no travel advised. That's the DOT saying you do not want to go on those roads this morning. It's going to be a dangerous go of it. That also includes Stutzman County, areas around Valley City as well. Grand Forks is included in that, and just east of Devil's Lake also included in that no travel advisory. The rest of the state right here is Fargo. You see that purple shaded county. That's around the Fargo, West Fargo area, west of Devil's Lake, and then west of Jamestown to about Bismarck as well. That is a travel alert. That means there is a possibility for snow, blowing snow, and ice as well. So also a tricky go on the roads. A check of I-29. This road here, we're seeing the purple line, purple dotted and purple solid. That means fully snow covered or partially snow covered. I-94, this straight line through the middle of the state here, we're seeing that with purple as well, and that's full purple, fully covered or partially covered. We want to take a look at the Minnesota cams right now. What we're seeing is blue and pink, different color system here. Blue is partially covered, pink fully covered in snow and ice. And that's what we're talking about for I-94 from Fargo going down to Alexandria. We have the blue there, partially covered. Highway 10 from Moorhead going all the way to Staples, also partially covered. We have an incident that just popped up in Detroit Lakes. We want to take a look at that. That happened between County Highway 15 and West along Lake Road. A vehicle has spun out near Audubon. They say it's blocking traffic there. Watch out. We want to head on up to northwestern Minnesota right now as well, around Thief River Falls. Highway 59 partially covered. Highway 2 from Grand Forks going all the way to Bemidji as well, partially covered. Some of the roads in the area also fully covered. Those pink lines, you're seeing it. You got to be careful when you're hitting the roads this morning. It is going to be a rough go of it, and you can keep up to date on road conditions with your VNL News app. It's a story that gripped the nation, and last night Valley News Live was invited to the private viewing for 7 members of the Pinto Hernandez family who died from carbon monoxide poisoning in their Moorhead home. The mother of 19-year-old Mariela Pinto says that Mariela was everything a parent could ask for in a daughter. The funeral is scheduled for next Friday at Wright Funeral Home in Moorhead. The public is welcome. Chocolate milk and juice boxes may no longer be an option at Fargo Public Schools, at least for a little while. The district says 1% milk is all they have because suppliers are having a tough time getting milk and juice cartons. Students who signed up to receive juice or chocolate milk can either switch or get a refund. Let's get the answer now to that question of the morning on Facebook. Our question: this happens more in the first week of the new year than any other time. The answer: people get fired. Remember that today's show and CBS This Morning are just about to start, but the Valley Today rolls on. We continue to cover this blizzard on the Fargo CW.